Hey everybody, it is time for our next episode of Community Driven, where we are bringing you people and organizations within our community who are doing great things in our community, and I'm so excited. As you can tell, today we have a little bit bigger than the normal one-person group that we have. We have with us three gentlemen here today, and I'm so excited to bring these gentlemen. They do an awesome work within our local areas, particularly our schools, in with a organization called Boys to Men. So excited to share these men with you. We have Mr. Angel DeJesus.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say that right.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
Thank you.
And Steve Bhatt. Did I say that right? Man, I got them all. Good. We are coming to you from our grand studios at 5200 Oaklawn Boulevard in North Prince George. So excited to have you with us, and we're going to get right into it. So,
Nice.
Boys to Men, I'm going to ask y'all each in just a second to explain what you do in Boys to Men, but we're going to start with Steve Martin. Tell us a little bit about what is Boys to Men, since you are the co-founder.
So Boys to Men Mentoring is a group mentoring organization that started in the community and then eventually ended up in schools.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for the shift was because all the boys were at the school.
Oh.
So we can now bring in our skilled facilitators and mentors into a school and talk about what's going on, just like we're doing now.
Yeah.
So, and we usually start with a check-in with the kids, right? So I'll get at ease by doing that, and I'll check in. My name is Steve, and I'm checking in feeling honored and grateful.
Okay.
So we model that to the kids, and each kid does the same thing.
That's awesome.
And then we talk about what's going on. So that's what Boys to Men Mentoring really is.
That's awesome.
That's what it is.
So
And,
tell us your role.
So now I'm program director. I've over the years wore all the hats, I think.
Yep.
And I'm very grateful to have a team now that I'm starting to fade out. You know what I mean? I'm starting to retirement maybe, or maybe starting to. I'm looking at my next stage in life.
Yeah.
So but that's what Boys to Men is. It's great. We're in 9 school districts. So we're all over. Prince George, Henrico, Richmond, Hopewell, Petersburg, Chesterfield.
That's amazing.
And,
That's
Goochland.
awesome.
Yeah, so we're 500 to 600 kids a week now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And Angel, what about you? What is your role within Boys to Men?
Well, I've been with Boys to Men now for 2.5 years. My role right now currently is staff member, mentor / facilitator. I'm the coordinator for this area right here, Prince George. MB Clements is one of the schools that I go to. Also Petersburg, Pittman, and other schools around Richmond, the Tri-Cities.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And so you work as you kind of work with Steve Bhatt, and,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in your role, and tell us about your role.
I am the Director of School Counseling at Henry Clements Junior High.
Okay.
I've been there since 2009, about 2012, 2013. We were made aware of Boys to Men mentoring, and the need was evident. Since that time, we have brought them into the schools as a mentoring organization to supplement what we have and to provide after-school support, summer support, and help the parents as well, and it goes beyond the school.
Yeah.
And benefit of their program is they incorporate students from 7th grade all the way up through 12th, so we can encompass students from J.E.J. Moore Middle School,
That's
and
awesome.
Clements Junior High, and Prince George High School. And we have some students that have joined in 7th and continued all the way through 12th grade.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
each one of them has their own story to tell, but
Gotcha.
they all have remarkable transformations and success over the years. So,
Gotcha. So we have kind of 3 levels. We have the big overarching, looking over the entire organization. We have the overlooking over this area, and specifically in Prince George County, the liaison and the connection to Prince George County. So this is great. Thank y'all for being here and what y'all do.
Absolutely.
So when I think of Boys to Men, I mean, I go back to the singing group. I go back to my childhood, and I start
We've been to that
singing some
concert.
songs. That's what I think of.
We're going to invite them or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Hey, let me know when that comes. I love Boys to Men growing up. So where did the name come from?
Well, Scott and his dad Joe, or Joe and his brother Scott and his father, their father, in San Diego I believe came up with that name. But if Joe sees this, he'll probably call me and say, Steve, that's not what happened. But not to tell on or anything, I think it was the journey. The vision was the journey of a young man becoming a young adult, right? And how the Boys to Men journey could, in fact, how can we as responsible men in the community help these young men through that transition, right? And be there through their journey. So so it was a perfect fit, Boys to Men, right? We are Boys to Men Mentoring Network of Virginia. And when we took on our 501(c), our nonprofit, we wanted, our goal was to be in every middle school in the state of Virginia, and golly, we're in 8 school districts, we're in a lot of schools, we're in Colonial Heights, So, what a dream. It's a dream come true. And now, so that being said, I think the Boys to Men, and everybody's always thought, ooh, that's weird, even the kids, right, when they come in so what's Boys to Men? It's not boys and men. I said, no, it's Boys to Men. It's a journey. And they go, I see that, right? So it was easy for the young people to catch on to that concept. And now they refer to us as, they don't even say a mentoring, or they say Boys to Men. Are you a part of Boys to Men? When they get their friends involved, you got to come to Boys to Men, right? That's what they say all the time, Boys to Men, Boys to Men. So
that's awesome.
What I thought was going to be a problem wasn't, naturally.
No, that's great.
They were a lot smarter about it than I was.
One thing I love about the program, Steve, is the amount of support that you do offer, even to the students after they leave, but during the summer you make sure there's plenty of programs and ideas to help keep them out of trouble and to keep them on the right path. You also have the Rite of Passage adventure weekends to help the students and to help them all grow. And each one of those, I think, is a terrific attribute of the program.
Yeah, thank you. I think what's important there is that we want the young men to be involved with the adults. We think that's something that's a gap, And if you talk back to a lot of philosophers, and scientists even, like Carl Jung, the Industrial Revolution age, right, where sons in this country were starting to separate from dad because fathers had to go to work in the cities and the boys were left on the farms, so that gap started, right? So we're just trying to bring the gap back, fill it in the gap and get them involved. We get our young men involved with most all of our organizational decisions, and
that's awesome.
They get to see and be a part of that. The Rite of Passage Mr. Bach's talking about is this, a place where we do what we do in schools in these circles, and we multiply it by 10, and we give them experiential exercises, as well as they get to do deeper work around their emotions, because one of the things that we try to teach is emotional intelligence, and we get that by them communicating with us.
Which is, for us guys, is a scary thing to talk about our emotions, right?
Absolutely.
But it's more.
And if you bring in the word nurture, in our world, it's like, what do you mean?
But I love the fact that you said the words emotional intelligence, because it's not about the touchy-feely emotion sometimes. Sometimes it's about having the emotional intelligence to actually deal with what is going on inside me and what am I feeling and how do I handle that?
And to communicate it in a healthy way, right? Whether it's through body language or our actions or our behaviors or words, and I think they need a psychological permission if they're not in that environment at home. So
Angel, tell me, what is it that drove you to get involved in Boys to Men?
I would say, like all of us, we all have a past, right?
Yeah.
And my past landed me in certain situations as a young, basically unmatured person, thinking that I was older than my age, So it landed me in juvenile detentions at times, and eventually landed me in prison. But that's not my story. That's not the reason why I got involved with Boys to Men. I think when I first met Steve Martin, he asked me to come to one of the schools, and just be present. He ain't asked for nothing. He was just like, just come, and at that time I was working for Michelin, driving trucks, and I said, you know what, let me talk to my boss and let me ask. Let me see what this can happen. Let me see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And when I came into the school, it was 360 Academy in Chesterfield. It literally, like, for some apparent reason, these kids, like, the relationship that me and these guys had, man, it was just like, it's hard to explain. You know, for me, it was hard to explain. I just felt something come over me, like, and it was like a calling. You know, so that's what kind of like got me motivated to be part of Boys to Men, honestly, because when I was growing up, I didn't have a father in my life. So I don't know, I never, basically at that time when I was growing up, my mother, she was the provider, but she never showed that affection, that love, something that a lot of the youth in this day and age they can't even understand, you know. So I felt that love when I first met Steve, and I was like, wow, you know, this is different.
Yeah.
You know, this is the real thing, you know, and I just was like, okay, let's see what it looks like, let's see where it goes. And they kept inviting me. They was like, hey, come to this school, and next thing you know, I was hired. You know, I let go of my job. You know, I even took a shortcut and everything, short pay, and I said, you know, I'm enjoying the team. You know?
So you're on full time.
Yes.
Oh, that's
full-time,
awesome. That's
full-time,
awesome. I made an assumption that it was like a volunteer thing that you did. And
no, I'm full-time
that's
worker.
awesome.
I'm a full-time worker.
That's great.
And I love the role, man. You know, I do a lot of things besides work with Boys to Men. I also go into the juvenile detentions. I go into the prison system. I work with reentry guys. Yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to build a community where people understand, you know, not just our communities, but all the communities around us. That, you know, that no child is born bad.
Yeah.
You know.
100%.
And basically that's the message, you
Yeah.
know, because the youth today, honestly, you know, they so caught up on their phones that the phones is teaching them everything. So what can us as adults, what can we give back to the youth?
Yes.
You know,
They're our future. Yeah.
So conversations like this are not being had. You know, everything is over the phone. Even when you're at home, you know, you talk to your kids, you don't yell anymore. You text them. Come downstairs and eat. I mean, just be honest. Hey, dinner time. You know, and they're like, okay, so
I'm
the
out
house.
front.
Yeah, I'm out front. Get in the car. You know, it's times for school. You know, wake up. You know, so that language is kind of like disappearing. You know, the one-on-one contact and everything is, and it's hard. You know, so I think we provide that for them. We give them that safe space.
Yeah.
In order for them to have a voice, we teach them, hey, look, man, when you want to talk to somebody, look at that person. Right. Because they always look down, you know, even in high school. So we go into the middle schools and high schools, and I mean, just the turn, man, you know, the turnaround for these guys, man, is amazing.
You know, it's interesting, and I wonder if you said something that made me think about this. I think about my boys. I'm a father of 4 boys, a daughter and 4 boys. And then I think back to the time as a school teacher, and you said, you know, some of that emotional connection but some of it was like literal connection, like touch, like there's something about boys, they want to wrestle, they want to, I remember as a school teacher, the boys wanted to always come up and give me a high five, and they wanted to put their arm around me, and they, you know, there's
testing
something
manhood, like
tough,
you know,
there's something about that within. I guess as a counselor, maybe Steve, you might talk to that a little bit more. That need for of young men to have a man in their life that they can depend on, that they know is going to treat them right, and that has that connection enough to have. I'm trying to be careful with my words.
Well, meet them well. That's the word.
Yes.
You want to meet them well.
Yes.
You want to meet them where they at, but at the same
you
time,
need to be able to just model what a true gentleman should be and how they should treat other people. And you need to be able to do that in a positive manner, be it with yourself or bringing other people into the mix. And I think that's one thing with today's society. We have a lot of single parents in today's society. We have a lot of children with incarcerated parents or deceased parents. The need is definitely great, and unfortunately, as time goes on, the need continues to increase and not decrease. In addition, also a foster parent with Chesterfield, so I feel so strongly about the program that pretty much all of the foster children that I have made a point to say, hey, this is a great program. Yeah. I can only do so much. My sphere is only so big, but to reach out to Steve and Angel and say, hey, please help out as well. Yeah. And I can say now the 17-year-old I have at home absolutely loves going to the community circles Monday evenings.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And I think that, what you talk about that people call it reckless behavior today, and it's like, no, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. To pick up the stick and want to go play arming, okay, yeah. Or to wrestle or whatever they want to do, right? Yeah. And I think, when we as men, especially men, say no, that we're cutting them off, right? It's that primitive part that they're growing up with. That's old as our ancestors. It's been around forever, for millions of years, right? And we almost look for that as we get older again. Yeah. We, as men, I know part of my journey was to look for that play. What did I lose? Yeah. Right. When did I come so coded? When did I start becoming the man? What is that? And I forgot who I really was. Yeah. And so this journey is about for the young men in our circles, I think, is really about them starting that journey early. And then if they lose it, they know what down the road they can reconnect, right? Because they learned it at a young age. Yeah. Yeah.
Something else that I was sitting here thinking about, I'm thinking about as y'all are talking, the three of y'all are talking, I'm thinking about, my journey from a boy to a man. And I think sometimes that older men think, well, I can't connect with these younger men. I look back at a time when I was first married, out of my parents' house, and still learning to be a man, living an hour and a half away. Yeah. And the men who I spent the most time with were not the men who were my age. It was the people who were 40, 50, 60, 70 years old who were teaching me how to be a man, how to be a husband, and to one day be a father, and to be involved in things like church and those types of things. So speak to that, Steve, a little bit of that you don't have to be their age, that it's so important to have older role models.
Number one thing we get from men is that I don't have anything to contribute, or I'm fearful of working with you, right, or whatever the case may be. So in our trainings, and not only through our interview process, but in our trainings, we speak to that, because we have young men that we call journeymen. Yeah. And these journeymen have been in the program a while, and they sit in these trainings, and they help these men look at themselves as teenagers. And they get to reflect back and go, okay, and the teenager says, here's something from that time of their lives, like when you spoke, right, about your time at 17 and what you were doing. The kids can then relate, okay? Yeah. And not only through the experience, sometimes it's not the experience, but it's the pain.
Yeah. That's true.
The emotion, right? I felt good about doing this behavior. I can relate to that. I didn't do that behavior, but I can relate to feeling good about doing other behaviors. Yeah. You know what I mean? That were dicey or got me into trouble or had consequences behind. So we don't need men to have the exact same story. Yeah. We need men who can relate to the pain of being a teenager and going through challenges. Yeah. That's what we need, because as human beings, that's what we can relate to. So it doesn't matter who's sitting across from me. If you know rage and sadness and joy, I can relate to you.
Absolutely.
And that's where we want our men to come from. Now I've got 40 years of that. Yeah. He's got 13. Yeah. Right? So when we talk about that and I relate and I feed back, so do you get rageful when you do this, or when you get mad, or, we separate the anger and the rage, and rage being when we throw something through a wall. Yeah, right? Yeah. Absolutely. So, and we get kids who throw desks, right, or whatever they do in school. So that's how we try to match it up. And now, we have men that will tell you that have been sitting in circles for 10 years saying, I never thought I could sit in a circle like this because I didn't think I could relate. And oh my gosh, these young men can feed back when these men talk about how their day was. Because a lot of what we do is we talk, we dialogue. So we offer each other support. So I think that's been, closing the gap is we need our elders to tell their story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like they did for
absolutely.
thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
The elders need to tell their stories.
Absolutely.
I remember once going to the weekend events.
Right.
I was greeted by a gentleman who seemed a little bit older than you and Angel and me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, he's open, he starts sharing, and continually said, look, I didn't know what I could do, and I thought I was too old to really do anything with the program. And he is at almost every event.
Yeah.
He is continuing to support the kids. When I go to some of the summer weekend events, he's standing at the grill, grilling burgers and hot dogs. And
Oh, that's Uncle Bill.
yep,
Okay.
that's
I figured he was talking about the one and only.
And let me tell you, those young men respect that.
Yeah.
They come up and make sure they get their handshake or their hug with Bill.
Sometimes it's just being present, right?
Absolutely.
It's just being present.
Absolutely.
That's
That's a
Steve
great
Martin told
point.
me that he literally, in some circles I just can't take it. Like it just got a little too much,
Right.
And he was like, Angel, calm down.
Just
Present, you being present. That alone right there, that's what they want. And eventually, I seen guys, man, that were in middle schools, like for two of my schools here, Matoka Middle, Matoka High. I started off in Matoka Middle, then I go to Matoka High. Most of the youth in Matoka Middle, that's where they were going to, Matoka High. And the first thing before graduating, Angel, are you going to be in Matoka High?
Right.
And I'm like, but you just didn't want to be here. What happened?
Yeah.
No, I want to be. Yeah, I want to be part of Boys to Men. And you can see the change, the transformation.
Yes.
And that right there, you can't put a number on that.
Oh, yeah,
You can't put a
absolutely.
number on that.
And that's when we thank you, right? We thank men
Mm-hmm.
like this who
Yeah.
can sit through the chaos
Mhm.
and say, what am I really offering? Does this look like it's working?
Yeah.
When you got 3 men and 15 kids and they're all going, what are we doing here? And you're trying to find your way as a group mentor, as a facilitator. But it's the heart piece. When you hear that, you kind of like, wow, where was this all year?
Yeah.
That's the impact. So
That's
that's
awesome.
how the young men get impacted. And it doesn't happen right. Yeah, some young men, you get that right away,
Absolutely.
right? Hey, thank you for being here, da, da, da. But it's the young men who don't say anything but are there every week. And at the end of the
The ones you
time,
don't realize.
they come up
yeah,
and they go,
yeah.
thank you, I'm going to miss this.
Yeah.
And that's like, woo.
or to hear the parents say
Oh.
after the fact,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for the opportunity, or allowing my son to open up and giving him an avenue just to
Yeah.
verbalize his feelings and be himself and be accepted.
Yeah.
And in some instances, there's parents who say, my son will not open up to counselors or therapists, but will open up in the circle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a true
I
statement.
could give you counters. I could give you numerous times where I had some of the youth, just they're just in their own mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to understand that because you're trying and you ask the right questions, but they just shut down.
Yes.
But then it goes that one time when they're willing to talk. And when you ask them, hey, so what's causing all this bad behavior? Well, Angel, let me start like this. I'm just a kid. And I'm like, how come that didn't dawn down on me?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's when you're like, okay, now that we have this understanding, and now I get it. Because, sometimes you want to scoop down to their level, and it's hard to come back up. Because once you're there, you're there. You know what I mean? So you might start talking their language, and you're like, wait a second, I'm doing thought here. I gotta get back up here, and let them know that, look, this is the way things are, and it's nothing wrong with you being where you at right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy this. You only have one time to do this.
That's right.
After that, you're gonna be like me.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like me. You don't want to be like Steve.
You're gonna be
Stay
growing
where
up.
you at. Exactly. Stay where you at right now. Enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the hardest thing that the youth in this day and age have a problem with, because they want to grow too fast.
Yeah.
They're being taught too fast, so you have to bring them back down. How do you do that? By being present, like you said.
Yeah.
Letting them know, like, look, man, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to hear you. Now, did you hear what you just finished saying? And repeat what they said so they can understand it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, I wouldn't call it, honestly, I don't even know what to call it, man. I just know just being there present, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's bringing me back
Yeah.
to you, Kevin, that how do you do, how do you feel like you've done as a man and a father, all right, and a man of the community with your sons, right?
Yeah.
Right. Where do you see yourself, right? As, are you present? Yes, probably. You sound like you are. We've talked to a lot of men. We do this a lot.
Yeah.
So in my judgment, yes, you're very present for your family. Is that important to you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So does that happen everywhere? No. Right?
Yeah.
Is it missing? Especially with fatherless homes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And they don't have that. There is no template in the home. And the mothers that call us tell us that. I can't be the man. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, and there's, I know, and we don't have time to go into all this, I'm sure, but I know there's a ton of statistics that I'm sure that y'all know.
Yeah, got you some
about
right
what happens with
Right.
in fatherless homes,
Yes.
and the difference between a home that has a father and doesn't, and it is, I've heard those over the years. I'm sure everybody has different things, but it is, it's amazing what the difference that having a man in a young child's life means.
Yeah.
And it's different for boys and for girls.
Yeah,
It's different. My relationship with my daughter is very different than my relationship with my 4 boys. And each one of them, we have a different relationship as well. But there is something there that cannot be replaced. And so, not that y'all are replacing it, but that y'all are doing your best to try to fill a gap, fill a need.
Yeah, we're one tier, right? One tier of so many. And
Yes.
thank goodness we're in a time and age where it's people are very conscious of this, and so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I've always said, I hope one day we're out of business. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Right? Is to
that's
evolve into being good to our boys and taking care of them.
true.
Yeah.
I will say until that time comes, I can say that I'm very thankful Prince George Schools has Boys to Men as a resource for our students. And I can safely say that I have seen remarkable change in a lot of the students who have come through, to where I definitely would like to continue the relationship with Clements, Prince George Schools, and Boys to Men. So, thank you.
You got it. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And so you guys, as a corporation right here, this car dealership, right?
Yeah.
Can you say it out loud for me so I know what it is?
Strosnider Chevrolet.
Strosnider.
Yeah,
I pronounce it
Strosnider.
Strosnider. So, we were looking at some cars when we got
Yeah,
there. We said, this place is so busy. We want to thank you for what you do for the community.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're of many, but it takes community partners like yourself to get the word out about what we do and how we're trying to do it. And we always need support.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, this
Thank you very
is
much.
amazing. We're, this is, I think, should be close to the hearts of everybody. That y'all are literally impacting for good the next generation of not just people in our community, but it's the country. It's the future of everything.
Yeah,
And
the
so
next generation.
Yeah.
What is that going to look like?
Yeah.
We here, we've been there, and it's their time.
Yeah. And
We
we
just
have
want
a
to support
duty.
them.
Yeah,
we
we
want to
have a-
support them in each and every way we can.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. I do have a couple quick questions.
All right.
I'm going to ask, in the interest of time, I'm not going to ask each one of you the question. I'm going to switch it up and ask each one of you a separate question. All right, I'll end with you, Steve.
Okay.
So you get the hardest question of all. So just be ready. Be ready. All right. So Steve, I'm going to start with you. So, oh man, I just forgot my first question. What was it? this I
Must have been an easy
no. Steve, I'm constantly trying to grow myself. I'm trying to improve myself as a person, as a father, as a husband, as a Christian, as a business leader, as a community member. what is something you have read, a book you have read? I'm always reading books. What's a book you've read in your life that has had positive impact on your life?
See, the biggest impact that any book has had was a lot of the Max Lucado series books.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they have always been a inspiration in many areas.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. He's got a ton. He's got a ton of books out there.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Angel, yours is a big question. Steve's is going to be harder. Yours is a big question.
Problem.
All right,
Shoot.
all right. So
Maybe we can help each other.
Angel,
Friend.
Yes, sir.
you've got 2 minutes, and you have got the entire area. You've got Hopewell, Prince George, Petersburg,
Richmond.
Richmond, you've got
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield, you got Sussex, Surrey, Dinwiddie, Charles City, you got Matoaka,
You name it.
everywhere, and everybody is looking at you, and everybody's cheering, Angel, 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 and you got 2 minutes to impart some wisdom on them. What would you say?
Man, honestly, don't be like me. Don't be like me. My path experience, the road that I chose as a young man led me down a dark place in my life. I didn't graduate from high school, though I got my GED. It wasn't easy. I didn't pay too much attention in school, so my message to the youth is just don't be like me. I have a biography, I have bios, I have done these sort of things in the past. So I encourage them to look at my life and see what part do they feel that they can take away from. What part will they change? I feel like sometimes, like I just came back from from another world, and now I'm here in the present. And I always tell them, look at me. And when I speak to them, I always tell them to look at me. Do you want to be like me? Because I'm coming back from the future telling you that this is what it looks like. So that's like my biggest message. To the parents, I try to tell them the same because I come from a one single mother house. My mom, she was a drug addict. It was hard. It was really hard, So I know how that feels. But I always, when I talk to the youth, one of my main things that I tell them, I was like, I can relate maybe to a lot of things that you're going through right now, but I can't feel your pain. Because I barely could feel the pain that I had when I was young, So I want them to understand that pain is real, And I want them to talk about that pain.
Yeah.
I want them to let it out.
I'm gonna challenge you on one thing though, Angel, because you are obvious, and I've known you for all of 30 minutes, but it is obvious to me that you're a man with a deep spirit. I mean, it just emanates from you. So that struggle and that pain that you have experienced has obviously helped shape you in a very, very good way, and created within you the ability to connect with people in a way that other people could not, that have not had those experiences and those pains. I know that some pains and experiences in my life have opened doors for me to be able to do that with other people, and it's obvious that is the case for you. So maybe learn from you, but it's not a bad thing. From what I can tell right here, 30 minutes for these young men to be like you. All right, I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say that.
I mean, that's the goal. The goal is to translate it to the point where I get that trust from them, so they can understand that, look, man, life is going to be hard, but there's men here that can teach or can lead you down the right path. I did not have that. I did not have that. But so I try to be the best beacon, the best light, that I can be for them. Let them know like there's always choices. And there's always a different way.
Yep. So, Steve, following that up is going to be very, very tough.
Yeah.
And
I'm feeling all this right now.
This is the toughest question of them all. And honestly, it's really not.
Right.
What is your dream vehicle?
And it doesn't have to be a Chevrolet.
I think he set you up for that question.
So I would say it's an old muscle car.
Okay.
I would like to have, I've always thought about that an old muscle car would be kind of cool to sit in to feel the energy
Yes.
and the power of an engine
Yeah.
and have respect for it
Yes.
at
Yeah.
this age
Oh,
compared
yeah.
to when I was a teenager. I would just get in trouble. You
Yeah.
know? But yeah, so be any kind, 442. Let's see, Pontiacs, the old Pontiacs. Help me not. I did have a Nova 3-speed on a column.
Oh, wow.
And I loved that car when I was a kid. I can tell you some stories about that car. I would say a muscle car. A muscle car of some sort.
That's awesome.
That I would feel the power and just hear the engine and ride in a V8 of some sort, and that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate, we need to wrap things up here, but I appreciate what each one of you do, because even if you aren't connecting with the child, the fact that you work in within the field and open up opportunities for other people. Steve, you have opened up opportunities for Angel to talk to other people, and these kids are affected, maybe not by you directly, but by you indirectly through him. And Steve, you opening up that and making that connection within the schools. Maybe you aren't talking to those kids, but Steve is, or Angel is, or somebody else is. And the impact that we have is huge, and it can be. It's not always direct. Sometimes it's indirect, but it's meaningful. It is very, very meaningful, and I appreciate what y'all do. I appreciate that impact. I have I'll leave y'all with this. I have a very close mentor of mine, and she has a quote. I love this quote. It says, her quote is, "It does not matter if I win or lose. It matters who loses if I don't win." So I go out every single day to try to win because other people depend on me to win, and these kids are depending on y'all to win every single day. So I'm fighting for you.
That quote.
Yeah, it's a great quote. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for all that you do every single day. We do have a little something for you here. Let's see. There's Steve Bhatt and Steve Martin.
Thank you.
And Angel DeJesus. There they are. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. Thank you all. Please go out and support these gentlemen, this organization, Boys to Men, what they do in our community. If you feel compelled to be involved, I'm sure, Steve, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, btmva.org.
Okay.
btmva.org.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Reach out to Steve, to Angel, to Steve. If you're in the Prince George community, you can reach out as well. So please reach out. These gentlemen are doing wonderful things. We got a card here. That's great. So if you need to reach out to me, and I can get you in touch with Angel, that would be great. But support what they do. It is so important to the future of not only our community, but it's important to the future of each individual child. And if we can just help one, it's more than enough. All right. So thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you. We will see you next time